Good morning, students. Welcome in our English class. The chapter Landscape of the Soul that is going on, and I just want to explain one paragraph that is really very simple and important from the point of view question answers and very simple concept. And in page number 34, 35 means in two pages. So couple of stories they have been described, and Chinese painting and European paintings, so they have been presented. Different painting style of different painters in different area, so they are there. It happens. Every region it has its different type of painter's mindset to paint the painting. To understand the term landscape, landscape means the painting that is representative of the earth, the beautiful scenery of the earth. The page that we are going to discuss, so it's related to only landscape, that means just mountain and water. What is landscape? Actually, according to the Chinese painting, landscape is the inner one. It means that landscape is the creation of the mind of the viewer. And to understand the painting, eyes are not important, it's the soul, it's the conscience, it's the mind that play the primary function. So here, man's role in this universe, it's very much important. The writer Natalie Trevorrow presented here both the painting, though the writer belongs to Europe, but here in this chapter, Chinese painting that has been highlighted more than European painting. The writer has drawn a beautiful comparison of both of these painting. The reason is that why the chapter is there, and it's important chapter because this chapter highlights the importance of human being in this universe. What are the main component of this universe? So all these things, so let's get started. Page number 36, very opening line of this page. This concept, what is this concept? So later on, if we proceed, we come to know this concept is expressed as Shen Shui. So Shen Shui, what is Shen Shui? Shen Shui, that is in Chinese, the landscape that is called literally mountain water. Literally meaning letter to letter, mountain water. It means the concept that is used here, the Chinese concept, that is Shen Shui, which used together represent the word landscape. Together, if mountain and water, so they are used in a scenery, in a painting, together they are used, so that part, including mountain, including water, that piece of work, that is called landscape, that is called scenery. And more than two elements of an image, these represents two complementary poles. Not just image, more than image, two elements. So two elements of image. So one element, that is mountain. Generally it happens that we see in the scenery that a mountain is there, and by the side of the mountain a river, a lake, a water body that is flowing. So this is landscape, this is scenery. So people, they are moving on the hilly path, or animals or plants or other birds or other living non-living creatures, so they are there. So this beautiful. So the concept is incomplete if one of them is absent. So that's why, so they are the complementary of each other, they are complementary poles. Complementary means they are opposite. How they are opposite? How they are complementary? One thing, that the absence of any one of them, it will be liable to incomplete the landscape. So both, they are essential, both are necessary, but they are complementary. So how? So that is reflecting the Taoist view of the universe. So the mountain is yang, reaching vertical towards heaven, stable, warm and dry in the sun. So Taoist, so that is the notion. Notion means the concept of Tao. The concept of Tao is called Taoism. And in Taoism concept, mountain is yang. So yang means that is vertical, that goes upwards, that is fixed, that is stable, and that is hard, that is in the sun, that is solid, and that is hot. And on the other hand, means it goes upwards. And water, that is yin. Yin means that is cold, that is moist, that is cool, and that flows horizontally. So water flows on the surface of the water in this direction, and the mountain, it stands firmly upright. So they are in the opposite direction. Next, and yang is active and masculine. This represent activity, this represent masculine. Masculine means man, manpower, symbol of power, symbol of strength. And here yin, it's feminine. So this is very cool, very down to earth, and it keeps on laying resting position. So that's why it represents feminine. Means yin is female and yang is male. This is cool, this is hot, this is dry, this is moist. It goes upright and it goes horizontally in this way. So that concept is, that notion is Taoism, that's called. And what is often overlooked is an essential third element. So what is the third element? Only two things they have been mentioned here, yang and yin, water and mountain. So what is that third element? So let me find out, so where the explanation is possible. The middle void, the word void, void means empty space, vacant place, that is void. This is solid and hard, this is in liquid form, and between this, that is void, that is empty. So if we go further, so we would get explanation about it. And the middle void where their interaction takes place, that is third element. So this is mountain, this is water. So where interaction is taking place, that place is called void, empty place. So there it has been exemplified with the comparison with yogic practice. In yogic practice, what do we do? It's written here. So let me explain quickly. yogic practice, we breathe in pranayam, breathe in. If we are taking breathe in, it means something is being done, and if we are breathing out, so something is happening there. But the time we hold the suspension of the breaths, when there is no breathing, no breathe in, no breathe out, so that is void, that is empty space, and that is the time when meditation occurs, when meditation happens. Means we are getting up early in the morning and we go to bed very late night, so during that time from getting up to going to bed, so we do many of the activity, numerous of activity we people do. But if we meditate, if we introspect, if we think about ourselves, so that time we have to avoid, we have to retain from any of the activities. That is called empty space, that is called void, that is vacant place, and that is very much necessary. How much struggle you are doing, how much hard work you people do, no matter, until or unless you introspect, you meditate, you reflects the deeds that you have done, so all those things, they are useless. Next, so one example, very simple example of yogic practice, and that middle void, that empty space, this is essential. And this is now the last paragraph. This is also where man finds a fundamental role. Fundamental role means the main role of a man. Why the main role? In that space between heaven and earth. Heaven and earth means two space. In this space, in this universe, two poles are there, like mountain, like water, two poles are there. So one is sky, that is heaven, and one is earth. So between these two poles, so there is man. Man is there on the scene. Earth and heaven. So between this is man. He becomes the conduct of communication between both poles of the universe. These are the both poles of the universe. And this heaven, this sky, and this earth. So these two place, these two space, you may say, that is there, and between them the man is there. So this is the medium of communication. So without man, what is the use of heaven? What is the use of the earth? What is use of all the things? So it's of no use. And his presence is essential. So man is necessary. Because man's role in this universe, it's very important, because he is the only living component in this universe. And the way, the situation, or you may say whatever a man do, or the way a man sees, a man perceives, a man understands the things, and whatever he see according to his eye, according to his vision, according to his mind, the changes happen in the same way in the universe. Means whatever a man does, in which way a man does his deed, that will, and that is reflected in this universe. And here man has a great responsibility, and that is the responsibility to make this world a better place to live in. And man has to do good deeds, and we should take care our planet earth, we should take care nature, we should take care the environment, because God has created the universe, the entire universe, that is the creation of God, and it's the duty and responsibility of a man to make this earth a beautiful place. And this is the duty, this is the scenery, and man is essential, man is important. So in comparison to the entire earth, in comparison to the heavenly body or the heaven itself, so man is nothing, but without it, all these things, so they are of no use, and he has also lot of responsibility. So next, getting inside outside art, it's about Mr. Nekchand. So I will upload another video about the rest of the chapter. Thanks a lot.